into Nickerson Hall. The 5-5 UINDY Greyhounds take on the 4-9 Bethel University Pilots. Hi, everybody. I'm Giselle Valentine. Joined alongside with me is Caden Colford and Jace Hodge. We'll hear from our sideline reporter, Kendall Pearson, down there in just one moment. But, guys, both teams are entering today's contest, coming off losses entering today. So starting with you, Caden, what can the Greyhounds do to win this game here today?
Well, after watching these teams warm up, it's obvious that the Greyhounds have a size advantage, especially down low. So expect them to continue their tear in the post and on the offensive boards.
Yeah, and as for the Pilots, they need to limit their turnovers. They average almost 25 turnovers a game. So for them to have any chance in this game, they need to limit those.
All right, thank you guys so much for your insight. Now we'll step aside and go down on the sideline with Kendall Pearson. Kendall, what do you have for us today?
The UINDY Greyhounds are taking on the Bethel Pilots for the first time ever on UINDY's home court. The UINDY Hounds lost their last game to the Maryville Saints, so they are definitely hungry for a win. Sadie Hills, who is a forward, will not be playing this game due to a wrist injury today, so we'll see how the Hounds make up for that and see if they can do it without her, because she normally averages about 16 points a game. Let's throw it back up to Giselle and the guys.
We're going to step aside right here. You're watching Greyhound Basketball on UINDY TV and the GLBC Sports Network.
Award-winning news coverage. Brought to you by ethical journalists that care about you. We have you covered on crime, latest on sports, and the best in entertainment. This is UINDY TV News. Award-winning news coverage. Brought to you by ethical journalists that care about you. We have you covered on crime, latest on sports, and the best in entertainment. This is UINDY TV News.
Hey.
Welcome back into Nickerson Hall. Starting lineups are getting underway here. And starting with the Pilots, they will starting at guard will be the 5'9" freshman Mariah Claywell. Sophomore guard Maya Shelton. The 5'7" sophomore guard Addie Jones. The 6'1" sophomore Abby Williams playing the forward spot. And also playing the forward spot is 5'11" forward Kate Kinger, senior right here, as you see down on this graphic. And guys, as Kendall mentioned, the Greyhounds will be without Sadie Hill. Do you think that will affect the game in any capacity here today?
I mean, that's a 15.5-point gap in their offense right now and the leader of their team as a whole. So it'll be interesting to see who they throw in the offensive scheme to get things going.
And now, taking a look at the starting lineup. Once again, head coach Mark Mitchell going with a different lineup. Taking the guard spot is the sophomore Alani Williams-Harris, followed by Caroline Jakaitis, making her 6th start this season. Then the graduate guard Maya Scheid, as you see right there. Then Alani Williams-Harris. And then the forward Lauren Whip. Excuse me, my bad. The freshman guard, Caslin Krebs, will also be starting too. So once again, another lineup, because you know Mark Mitchell loves to be really creative with his lineups, guys.
Like he said, he likes to put a lot of prep work into these games and adapt his lineups to the team they're playing. And sometimes it'll be by size, sometimes he likes a matchup, and you never know what you're going to see out there.
That is true. Both teams are coming off losses. Bethel is coming off a loss against Indiana Wasteland. They lost 64-60. at home, so they're looking to win here today. And UIndy's coming off a loss against Maryville, 88-83. Both teams line up at the center line. And the ball is won by Bethel, and they will bring the ball up court. Addie Jones passes it to Kinker on top of the arc. Back to Jones. Finds Williams down in the paint, no good. Williams recovered. The shot, no good. And it will be UIndy's ball.
And it's interesting to see them attack a bigger Caroline Chikaitis in that set, which led to a good shot, led to a good cut, and a good shot.
Maya Scheit bringing up the ball up court, gives it to Williams Harris, finds Krebs. Three is no good, rebounded by Abby Williams, the sophomore forward.
I think Krebs is in the game more for the three-point shooting presence she brings to the court, about 37% on the year, and we'll look to get her more shots like that.
Addie Jones' layup was no good.
And it looks like they want to get Krebs involved early, but two not so great looks there.
Kinker looking for options. It's stolen by Alani Williams-Harris, and she will take it up coast to coast for the layup, and it is good to put UIndy right up on the board early on.
And right there, she showed her speed. Look at that, got right past the defender within seconds.
Between two of them, it was like they were running a different race.
Shelton to Jones. The three from Claywell, no good. And a foul will be drawn.
And you can see Bethel isn't afraid to shoot a three early in the shot clock. They're taking the shots that they're given.
They are taking open shots, but I'd say, are they the best shot that you could get in 30 seconds? I don't necessarily think so. I mean, they've been open, but maybe look for one more.
Williams-Harris dives in the low end, no good. Rebounded by Jones, finds a wide open Claywell, and she shoots the jumper, and that is good.
Great focus there by Claywell. She was open for a good 2 or 3 seconds before she got the ball, but once the pressure was on her, didn't matter. She turned around, fade away Jay.
It was definitely a nicely drawn-up play, too, by head coach Scott Paulsgrove.
Scheit's pass intended for Lauren With, but it was stripped. Now will be Pilot's ball. Kinker with the three-pointer. Just a little too strong off the front iron. Rebounded by Caslin Krebs. She'll bring the ball up court. Gives it off to Maya Scheit. She'll kind of slow down the play a little bit for the Greyhounds.
And they went down to the post last time. You'd like to see it do it again with their size advantage.
And you can tell how much they're missing Sadie Hill in there.
Pass was intended for Lauren With. She was double teamed, but doesn't matter as it will be Pilot's ball.
Yeah, and Sadie Hill's a huge presence there in the paint. Without her today so far, you can see they just really don't have that isn't their usual selves there in the paint.
Greyhounds kind of struggling a little bit offensively. Shot no good. But the jumper for Claywell was good. She now has 4 early on in this game. Caroline Chikaitis going for the three, and it is good. The bench is up on their feet. Look at that, Caroline Chikaitis making the first three-point shot for UIndy.
And that is also her first three-pointer on the year, a rare sight from the taller Chikaitis.
Indeed, a very rare sight, as I mentioned, making her 6th start in 9 games so far this season.
And that was a nice take there by Abby Williams, getting right into the paint, attacking the defender, and getting the easy layup.
Williams-Harris for options, finds Chikaitis. Chikaitis goes for the three again, no good. Hornwood tried to rebound it, but no good as Kinker beat her to it. Jones with the bounce pass to Claywell. Claywell with the turnaround J, no good. Rebounded by Alani Williams-Harris.
And you can tell that's Claywell's game. She wants to get that turnaround jumper. She made one earlier and almost had another one there.
Krebs to Williams Harris. Back to Maya Scheidt for the three. And it's just raining threes here in Indianapolis, as that is UIndy's second three of the game to put UIndy up by 2 early on in this first quarter. And the steal from Maya Scheidt with the nice turnaround, nice behind the back pass, no good. Oh my goodness, guys.
And how about Maya Scheidt? Right after hitting the three, she gets to steal with a behind the back pass that was almost finished off.
3 from Jones, no good. Williams Harris quickly brings it up court. Scheidt to Williams Harris. Back to Scheidt. Finds Krebs. Krebs with the pass to Lauren With. Lauren With's pass was stripped. Clay going up for the layup.
And it's been a good start for Clay Well today. It's already 6 points for her.
And UIndy's going to take a timeout. We will too. We're going to step aside. You're watching Greyhound basketball here on UIndy TV and the GLBC Sports Network. Hey, it's Giselle here on 88.7 WICR.
88.7 The Diamond, the only jazz and classical station in Indianapolis, completely led by the students of the University of Indianapolis. Listen to us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn app, FM radio, HD radios, or even on our website at wicronline.org, a different kind of public radio.
Back here at Nickerson Hall, the score is tied at 8 apiece. And guys, kind of a little bit of rocky start for UIndy. I know, as Jace mentioned earlier, they're kind of not been attacking the basket as well as they should.
Yeah, I mean, UIndy really isn't attacking the Bethel as they should so far. I mean, Bethel's an NAIA school, and UIndy is a Division II school. You would expect that UIndy would come out attacking, try to get that lead early and not look back. But so far, Bethel's been up to the task.
I mean, credit to the Pilots, right? It's pretty obvious coming into the game. They had a focus on pushing themselves into the passing lane, and they got a lot of steals up at this point. They're tipping a lot of passes. And one thing I've noticed is they might have a size disadvantage on their side, but they're not letting the ball get into the post in the first place, which is a great defensive strategy.
So you guys mentioned Pilots are bringing their A game so far for the leader. And when it comes to points, Mariah Claywell leads that category with 6. All scores right here. Jody Mullins will check in the game for the Greyhounds, as so as Flaca Ortiz will check in. Mullins will bring the ball. She really loves going to her right side down in the low end of the post, but her pass was stripped, deflected. Shelton with the layup. And it is no good. Looks like it is going to be a charge. Offensive foul, excuse me.
Great defensive play there by Caroline Jakaitis. Takes a lot of awareness on the defensive end to get in position and take it.
Ortiz finds Krebs on top of the key. Back to Williams Harris. Back to Mullins. Mullins with the jumper. No good. Rebounded by Morris.
And you can see how active they're being on the defensive end, Bethel. They're on every UIndy player as soon as they get the ball.
Little dogfight down here between Claywell and Krebs. Good defense by both. Good defense by Krebs. So it'll be a jump ball.
And here we get another look at it. Caitlin Krebs has got her hands on the ball, and she wasn't letting go.
Bethel University Pilot, the senior guard Taylor Pasquale is making her debut, is entering into the game. Mullins to Flaca Ortiz. Ortiz to Krebs, drives in, back to Mullins with the 3, no good, rebounded by Assad. She'll bring it up court. Assad with the overhead pass to Williams, who finds Morris, and that is good.
And you can tell Nyla Assad for Bethel is going to match the energy of Alani Williams-Harris with the speed.
And her teammate, Abby Williams, down in the post is a great playmaker down there as well as a scorer. So, I mean, double threat.
Looks like a foul will be drawn here. It'll be on the senior guard, Taylor Pasquale, her first, the team's first. Krebs will check out of the game. In for Krebs is Liv Becker. Ortiz, Chikaitis finds Becker on the low end. Her shot is good.
That was a good use of her body by Liv Becker to catch that ball with the defender right in her face.
I mean, great awareness, too, to recognize the matchups that she has and take advantage of it.
The three from Addie Jones is good. Taylor Pasquale, is good. Bethel leads by 3. Ortiz finds Chikaitis. Chikaitis to Becker. Becker with the layup, no good. Rebounded by Assad again. She'll quickly bring it up court, going coast to coast. Little defensive matchup between her and Williams-Harris. Morris heavily guarded by Ortiz. Her shot is good.
I mean, solid defense by Ortiz there. Just great shot and a great roll.
But you can tell Bethel is here to play today. They are not scared of UIndy.
Williams-Harris to a wide open Jolie Mullins. It is too strong, but nice save from Becker. Back to Williams-Harris. Finds Ortiz. Ortiz with the layup, no good. And it will be the Pilots' ball.
And the Pilots up by 5. I don't know if any of us were expecting this. I mean, 9 minutes into the first quarter.
You can tell really how much the Greyhounds do miss Sadie Hill along with Alana Wells. Two of their best players on the team, and they're really having an impact not being on the floor tonight.
I mean, Alana Wells being your primary ball handler most of the time, and Sadie Hill just holding the entire team down, you know, a defensive anchor. I mean, their go-to in the post. So those are 2 big holes to fill.
Ball was tipped from Ortiz. Ortiz bringing up coast, finds Mullins, and she will be charged for the offensive foul.
And that was good recognition there by Bethel to notice Ortiz going right into the lane and get the charge.
It was a slick pass, too, by Flocka. I mean, not much more he could do. There wasn't a whole lot she could do to stop her momentum. Unlucky play, but great on defense.
Ortiz will now check out of the game. In for her is Lauren Witt. Little double team action from the Greyhounds. Kinker to Assad on top of the key. She will shoot the 3. It is way off. Ball was saved by Morris, but it doesn't matter as Lauren Witt saves the day for the Greyhounds. Mullins down at the corner. It is good.
And that's the look for Jody Mullins. She is a 54% shooter from behind the arc this year. She's had 2 of those earlier in the game. She missed them, but there she is right there, hitting the 3.
Kinker thought about it. Back to Assad. Assad driving in. No good. Rebounded by Liv Becker. It's kind of a little mismatch to her and Caroline Morris.
I'll say one thing. The referees letting them play. We haven't had a free throw this entire first quarter, and it hasn't been less aggressive basketball by any means. They're just letting them go at it.
You know, it's definitely been pacey and aggressive basketball, but the refs are really letting it go, which I like. It gives a better feel to the game.
Caroline Chikaitis will step out of the game for the first time tonight. In for her is the freshman forward, Jada Patton. 46 seconds left of the first quarter. Patton driving in. There was a foul drawn on the play. Basket's obviously no good.
And we have to see Jada Patton come in when the team needs a spark. Patton brings that spark that the Greyhounds really need. Patton is what they've been missing with Alana Wells.
Now, that will send Patton to the free throw line. And now that will be the first free throw line appearance from both either or team here today. She sinks down her first.
And as you were saying, Mark Mitchell comments on her as a player that can score in bunches. So, I mean, seeing these 2 go in, or seen one go in for. I mean, that could be a big spark.
She misses her second, rebounded by the Pilots. McElroy from downtown, no good. Williams-Harris to Mullins, she's trying to drive through. Ooh, a nice little step back. Foul's call on the play. That will send Mullins to the free throw line. That was Pasquale's second foul.
And after that play, Mark Mitchell was talking to Mullins saying, shoot that next time, shoot that. I mean, as a shooter, when you have that open shot in the corner, she passes up like that. It must be at least a little frustrating.
Jody Mullins coming into this in her last game, she had 8 points, only 1 rebound, 1 assist in 23 minutes, kind of a little bit more quieter. She's been making a lot of noise here this season. She will check out of the game. Back in for her is Maya Scheidt. There's only 19 seconds left of this first quarter. Greyhounds kind of utilizing full court, half court press. McElroy to Kinker to Foster. Foster will just throw it in, no good. Rebounded by Patton, and that will be the end of the first quarter. As UINDY 16, Bethel 15.
But a foul was called on the rebound, and since we are in the bonus, we might go to the free throw line here.
Might go back, but let's take a moment and step aside. Let's go down on the sidelines with our own Kendall Pearson. Kendall, what's going on?
You can definitely feel the intensity in this room. There's been some beautiful shots made by both teams so far. The first quarter, the UINDY Hounds are leading. I spoke with Mark Mitchell, and he said that the Hounds are making silly mistakes and that the girls definitely need to step up their game just a little bit if they want to win. Stick with us here on UINDY TV. I'm Kendall Pearson for the GLVC Sports Network.
Back here at Nickerson Hall, we got 0.7 seconds left of the first quarter as Kaden kind of mentioned, there looked to seem like a foul on the play, and that will send Jada Patton back to the free throw line for her second appearance there tonight. Sinks her first one. Makes her second. Now she has 3 points so far in today's contest. And that will bring a close to the first quarter. We'll step aside right here. You're watching Greyhound basketball on UINDY TV and the GLVC Sports Network.
Award-winning news coverage. Brought to you by ethical journalists that care about you. We have you covered on crime, latest on sports, and the best in entertainment. This is UINDY TV News.
Back here at Nick.
Jake, who you got? Tennessee, Georgia.
Georgia, easily, man.
Come on, Tennessee's 8.5-point dogs. Easiest spread of all time.
How?
Because they're good, and Georgia's played nobody.
At least Georgia has a defense.
Oh, come on. You're an IU fan. Your opinion doesn't matter.
My opinion doesn't matter. The only thing you know as a Purdue fan is how to lose to a 15 seed in the March Madness tournament.
We're bowl eligible, my guy. Are you? Make sure to tune in to Last Call Monday nights. We'll talk about Division I football, give you plenty of UINDY sports, some interviews in there as well, and then plenty of pro sports, whether it be NFL, MLB, the whole shebang.
Yeah, and there's at least one guy that knows what he's talking about.
Back here at Nickerson Hall, UINDY 18, Bethel 15. And guys, it's the start of the second quarter. What have you been seeing so far that's kind of been surprising to you?
I mean, Bethel came out and they're crashing the passing lanes, and it's really nice defense. I love the intensity. I mean, for UINDY, I mean, they just need to keep playing their game, push the pace a little bit, they'll get right back into this.
Jones to Shelton. Shelton dribbling her way in the low post, turnaround. She has to find somebody to give it to her. Williams. Back to Shelton. Shelton's shot is blocked.
Good defense there. They were active the entire time.
Scheidt will go coast to coast. Finds Becker with the little floater. Becker kind of providing a spark of energy so far today's game. Pass was deflected from Scheidt. Lake to Becker. Her layup is no good. Rebounded by Shelton. She'll go coast to coast. Finds an opener. Kinker from the arc. No good. Rebounded by Patton. Patton to Witt with the long pass.
And even though she missed that one, that's the Greyhounds game. When they get out in transition, they're at their best. They've had two good looks, just unable to capitalize yet.
Head coach for Bethel, Scott Paulsgrove, will call a timeout. So we'll take a step. We'll call a timeout. You're watching Greyhound basketball here on UINDY TV and the GLC Sports Network.
Award-winning news coverage. Brought to you by ethical journalists that care about you. We have you covered on crime, latest on sports, and the best in entertainment. This is UINDY TV News.
Back here at Nickerson Hall, UINDY 20, Bethel 15. Let's take a look at some of the stats. So far, Bethel is 33% from the field goal range. UINDY is 35% from the field goal range as well. UINDY's been 6 of 7, while Bethel's been 7 of 21. Excuse me, UINDY's been 6 of 17, while Bethel's been 7 of 21. Both teams get ready to come back on the court to finish off this second quarter, excuse me.
And neither team shooting all that well. Bethel shooting 1 for 9 from the three-point line. I mean, you could credit a lot of it to good defense. It's been solid intensity on both sides up to this point.
Clanwell will inbound the ball for the Pilots. Finds Jones. Will be a turnover for the Pilots. It'll be UINDY's ball.
And so far, what I've noticed for Bethel, number 5, Maya Shelton, is their leading scorer on the season. She has yet to put any points on the board so far today. UINDY is doing a good job of shutting her down and not letting her get the ball.
Scheidt dribbling the ball up the court. Finds Lake in the right wing. Back to Patton. Patton will drive in for the left-hand layup. It is good.
And you'd love to see that from Patton. I mean, a a really powerful move to get herself into the paint and get a bucket.
And that's the spark she brings for this UINDY team off the defense, off the bench, I should say.
Jones's bounce pass to Claywell. To Shelton. To Kinker finds Claywell with a nice layup.
There was good ball movement there to end up getting the ball into Claywell, and a nice move by Claywell there to get in the lane and get the layup and one.
I talked earlier about how they were taking a lot of shots early in the shot clock. I mean, they're taking okay shots, but now they're moving the ball really well, and they're finding great shots.
And this will be the Pilots' first time going to the free throw line. It's Claywell's free throw, no good. Rebounded by With to Scheidt. Throws the pass to Lake, but it is no good. It is Pilots' ball. Ooh, a little bit of a fall right there, but Shelton was able to cover the ball for the Pilots. Kinker's bounce pass to Shelton with the right-handed layup.
And right as I mentioned, Shelton not putting any points on the board, there she is. They got the ball right into her in the paint, wide open. Easy layup for her.
And that was all by design, too. Great play design.
Scheidt driving in traffic. Her layup is in.
Now we got both teams getting into the paint and into the lane, getting the easy layups.
Ball was deflected out of bounds. It will be UINDY's ball. Williams-Harris will check back into the game in for Maya Scheidt.
And as the pace starts to pick up, the ball starts to move back and forth down the court. That all falls in favor of UINDY. That's their game. That's how they've been playing all year. They love to get out on the break. They love to get easy layups. They love to play at high speeds.
Caroline Jakaitis will check back in the game for Jada Patton. Williams-Harris to Lake. Lake's pass to Jakaitis. Looks like a foul was drawn here. Both the refs are kind of talking it out a bit. And Jakaitis will be called for the traveling.
Interesting call, to say the least there. You know, I saw a lot of things, possibly even a charge. I don't know if I saw a travel, though.
I agree with you right there. It'll be UINDY's 8th turnover in this game. Lauren Whip trying to save the day, trying to get that steal, but it is no good as a 30-second timeout will be drawn. We will step aside. You're watching Greyhound basketball here on UIND TV and the GLBC Sports Network. Hey, it's Giselle here on 88.7 WICR.
88.7 The Diamond, the only jazz and classical station in Indianapolis, completely led by the students of the University of Indianapolis. Listen to us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn app, FM radio, HD radios, or even on our website at wicronline.org, a different kind of public radio.
Back here at Nickerson Hall, UIND 24, Bethel 19 with 6:45 left to play of the second quarter. And guys, a little bit of back and forth action between both teams, a little bit more spark of energy here in Nickerson Hall.
And like Caden mentioned, that pace favors UIND and also doesn't favor Bethel, because Bethel, when they had the pace going, they turn the ball over more. And they've turned the ball over a lot this year. They had 39 in their last game against Indiana Wesleyan, 39 turnovers.
Kinker's pass intended for Claywell, but it was deflected. UIND stole the ball, but no good as that pass was intended for Williams-Harris. UIND will inbound the ball. Williams-Harris. This pass was intended for Lauren With, but it was recovered by Lake. Krebs driving in. Lake's jumper is good.
Now just a great play by Lake overall. I mean, off the inbounds, it was a bad pass. She got the recovery. They moved the ball around. They found Jada Lake open. She hit the shot.
Little double team action from Krebs and Lake.
And even up even though they don't get the ball there. That's the perfect execution of the press. That's the perfect execution. See, when they run this full court press, they want the ball to get past half court, just a foot or two, so they have the half court line and the sideline both acting as defenders alongside 2 UIndy defenders.
UIndy's assistant head coach, Ashley Yu, on the bench, just yelling at her girls, utilizing that press that you mentioned, and it'll be UIndy's ball.
And they just changed the call there. They originally called the foul on UIndy, and I thought that was a bit of a surprise. It looked to be a bit of a push-off by Bethel. They ended up changing the call after a bit of discussion.
Man, that's a coach's dream right there. A press run like that, defense run like that with that kind of intensity. That was awesome.
Lauren Witt's three, no good. Rebounded by Williams-Harris. Ball was deflected from Morris. Now go the other way with a side.
And Mark Mitchell just threw a paper down onto the ground. He was not very happy with that.
Claywell's pass, other side to Assad. Assad with the matchup between Williams-Harris. Good defense from Williams-Harris. And it'll be jump ball. UIndy getting a little bit more scrappy with the defense here, guys.
I mean, they came out. Bethel took a 5-point lead, which nobody was expecting. And you better believe that Mark Mitchell was on them in the huddle.
It's still only a 7-point game. It's not any, I mean, it's still pretty close here. Bethel is still trying to make this a game.
Williams-Harris to Lake on the right wing. Lake kind of driving in to Krebs, to with the nice pass to Lake.
And that was fantastic ball movement by the Greyhounds there. Kicking it in and back out and in, and With goes in with a nice little dish. Easy bucket.
Greyhounds utilizing this press again with the double team from Lake and Krebs. There will be a foul called here. Jada Lake will be charged with her first foul. Pilots will inbound the ball. Foster finds Assad near the Indianapolis logo. Finds Morris here on the top of the key. Finds Stewart. Assad's jumper, no good. However, it was rebounded by Leah Foster. That was good for the Pilots.
And there's nothing more frustrating than have a defensive possession like that. You're playing solid the entire possession. They put up a bad shot, but they end up getting their own rebound and putting 2 on the board. I mean, not much you can do about it.
And no one boxed her out there and allowed her to get right back in and get the rebound there.
Warren With trying to go for the turnaround jumper, turnaround layup, but it is no good. She'll be charged with a foul. That'll be her second foul. Side.
And all head coach Mark Mitchell can do right now is just laugh. He was talking to the ref and laughing. Not very happy with the call, you can tell.
Saad trying to fight her way through traffic. Finds Squale. Jackson Morris on the low end, left low end of the block. Saad's ball was almost deflected, but it's recovered. Stewart with the long 2, no good. Rebounded by Morris. Morris tries to go up for it, but Jakaitis said, not in my house, and that was an invitation to her block party. As it will be another turnover for the Greyhounds. Charge.
They said she carried there, and I think if we got another look at it, I'd say she would. She brought it over, had the ball on top of her hand, brought it back over as the defender tried to swipe. Good call.
And you can bet that heading into the locker room at halftime, Mark Mitchell's first thing he's going to say is don't turn the ball over as much as they are. They've been turning the ball over way more than they usually do, and you see that goes UIndy's way.
3:22 left to play in this second quarter. Schinker dribbling to her left, finds Pasquale with the shot. No good. Rebounded by Patton. Kind of going coast to coast. Finds Williams-Harris back to Castling Krebs from the left side of the arc. And it is good. A three-point shot from the freshman Castling Krebs.
And that was one of those shots where she knew she was going to shoot it whether she was guarded or not. She had it in her mind before she caught the ball, before they were even on offense, that she wanted to take that shot.
Pasquale's open layup, no good. Fighting for the ball. Man, both these teams on the defensive side just been really scrappy. Back and forth, almost looking like a dogfight down there.
And the Hounds have been much improved on defense in this quarter. Only, I think, 6 points in this quarter they've allowed?
Correct. But no, scrappy basketball makes for fun basketball to watch for me personally. I mean, as a student of the game, seeing that much passion, that much heart into the game.
I couldn't agree more, Kaden, as Tassi Kukabak will check in, taking Jada Lake's spot. Kukabak making her third appearance so far this season for the Greyhounds. Only averages about 2 minutes per game. Foster's pass, no good, as it goes to the UINDY's bench. Will be another turnover for the Pilots.
And that's what happens when you speed up a team that's turnover prone. They'll turn the ball over, and that's something that Mark Mitchell's really been emphasizing.
Kukabak's bounce pass to Lake. Jakaitis' pass was intended for Kukabak. Williams-Harris from the three-point line, no good. As it'll be the Pilots' ball as Castling Krebs tried to cover that ball right there, but she didn't have too much luck down at the scorer's table. Two minutes left to play in the second quarter. Only a 10-point lead from the Greyhounds. Williams fouled down there. It looks like it was from Jakaitis.
And that should be 2 blocks on the day for Jakaitis. I mean, she's been playing solid defense in the post all day long.
And she seemed to have both hands up in the air. I'm not really sure where that contact was generated from, but the refs obviously saw something that we did not see up here.
The sophomore forward seeking down her first free throw. In her last game against Indiana Wasteland, she only had 4 points and 5 rebounds, 2 blocks in only 28 minutes. Her free throw, just a little too strong off there. Kukaba thought about shooting it, but instead decides to drive in. Pass was deflected. Now will be the Pilots' ball. Assad with the nice little crossover finds Foster to McElroy. McElroy with the bounce pass to Williams. Back to McElroy. Assad to Williams. Her rebound, no good. Rebounded by UINDY.
And Williams was off there, but she had a really good first quarter, so I wouldn't be surprised to see Bethel go at her.
Williams-Harris on him driving down. Ball was fouled. Maya Scheidt will now check back into the game for the Greyhounds, as so will Liv Becker as Castling Krebs. And Alani Williams-Harris will take some time off on the bench. 1:02 left to play in the second half. UINDY leads by 9. That will be looks like there was game delay. So UINDY will now inbound the ball again.
And I think the call there was the Bethel player stepped over the line when guarding the inbounder.
Oh, someone fell down. Shite to Jakitis. Jakitis with the jumper from the charity stripe. Jakitis kind of having a game here tonight, guys.
That was a clean shot there, clean look too. Right from around the free throw line. Easy switch for her.
Ooh, Jakitis with the steal. Shite doing what she does best, and a free throw.
And you were talking about how Caroline Jakitis was having a night. I mean, she gets a steal right there. And I mean, that's the thing about this UINDY team, right? You never know who's going to have their breakout night.
Saad's shot was blocked.
And once again, it's Jakitis. I mean, her presence down on the block has been remarkable.
And there's the spark the Greyhounds needed. Jakitis has brought it in the last few minutes now.
Looks like UINDY will hold on to the last 11 seconds of this ball. Foul is drawn. It's going to be on Bethel's junior guard, Nyla Assad. She will check out of the game. In for her is Maya Shelton, the leading scorer for the Pilots. Jakitis and Kukabat will now sit out. In is Krebs and Jada Patton as well.
And
Mullins.
And it looks to me like this lineup is UINDY's shooting lineup. They might draw up a play for a three-pointer here.
Ought to be Shite or Krebs if I had to guess.
Foul is drawn. Looks like it will be on the Pilots. 6.2 left. Second quarter. With will check in, out is Krebs. Jody Mullins called with a foul, her first foul. Becker will check out of the game. In for her is Jada Lake. A lot of substitutions with only 6.2 seconds left of the second quarter, guys. Now another substitution. This comes Jakitis checking now back in the game. In for Lauren Whip.
And I think they just kind of swapped there. The three-point lineup for the defense lineup here, making sure that they don't let up any points coming into the second half.
Jada Lake is charged with her second foul. That's going to bring Aaliyah Foster to the free throw line.
And she's a 94% shooter from the line this year. You can't get much better than that, can you?
No, you cannot.
There are pros that don't shoot that well. I mean, some people just have their thing, and free throws could very well be her thing.
She sinks down her first free throw. The 5'8" sophomore from Bremen, Indiana, went to Bremen High School. It's the highest scorer in her high school class. Free throw, knocks it down. Shite quickly just throws up the ball. Oh, and it is a little too strong right there. UINDY heads back to the locker room with 35 and Bethel 24, guys. And what a really interesting second quarter here. And on that moment, we're going to step aside down on the sidelines with our very own Kendall Pearson. Kendall, what's going on?
It is now the end of the second quarter, and the Hounds are in the lead by 11 points. The atmosphere is intense in here, and I have been behind the benches getting insight on what the coaches are saying. Coach Mitchell still thinks his girls could play a little harder, but I saw him smile a few times, so that is always a good sign. He is definitely proud of his Hounds. I'm not hearing much from the Pilots bench, but that could be because UINDY's bench is drowning them out. Stick with us here on the GLVC Sports Network. We'll be with you right after the break.
across divisions, sports, championships, and schools for nearly 500,000 student athletes. College sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete.
To them, the whole world looks like an opportunity, one to be seized, built upon, and made better for their sport and the people around it. To student athletes, every opportunity is a chance to change what could be and show the world what opportunity can do.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby. Inside the 30, touchdown. Michaela burns it.
An incredible finish by Hall.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org.
I pledge.
I pledge.
I pledge. I pledge.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby. Inside the 30, touchdown. Michaela burns it.
An incredible finish by Hall.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org/opportunity.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Well, it's so many memories, I would say. I think the things that when my teammates and I get together, what we enjoy the most, I think, are just all the stories, all the things that happen between us playing against some of the best schools. You know, we played some Division I schools. We beat Eastern Illinois twice. A thrill for a Division II school to go in and to beat a Division I school. And I think we remember, you know, feeling like kind of the David versus Goliath. And that's what I think we realized, if you can come together as a group, you know, that you can have success. Well, I think any competitive person, it's tough. But I still look at it today, you know, it's been 30 years since I played competitive basketball, and in the business world and the education world, you lose, and things happen, and you go back to your playing days, and you got knocked down and you got to get back up. So that was kind of our mantra. I think to have dreams. I just, as a little kid, I had dreams that I wanted to do something athletically, you know, and basketball was my passion. And so I don't care what it is, do something that you like, that you're passionate about. That to me is the most important thing, and then work to achieve it. And if you work hard enough at it, I think your dreams can come true, even when people tell you it'll never happen. And that to me was kind of the David versus Goliath thing. Yeah, and it's a cliche, but I do think life is a game. Life is a competition. And I think I was prepared because I competed in college, and I say the same thing to people. You kind of those same attributes. You have to work hard, you have to practice what you want to do, and you have to believe in yourself, and you have to have those dreams, and you put that package together, and I think it's a pretty good package for success. Hi, I'm Larry Tucker. I'm a former NCAA student athlete from Lewis University.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, they push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor. It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
I pledge.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
From court to court and lane to lane, under the lights or under the sun, no one delivers Division II sports like NCAA.com. The center of D2 is inside the NCAA.com hub, with exclusive highlights of every sport and live broadcasts of every Division II championship found nowhere else. Make NCAA.com yours, the home of Division II college sports.
Across divisions, sports, championships, and schools for nearly 500,000 student athletes. College sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds. and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete.
Welcome back here at Nickerson Hall. Third quarter action underway here with 8:45 left to play. Little missed shots on both teams, but I probably said that a little too early as Maya Shelton with the putback layup. Williams-Harris, the overpass to Lauren With on the low end. Lauren With was able to get that in for the Greyhounds.
And it's good to see Lauren With get involved, and that was a great pass to find her there on top of a great finish. Not an easy curl off the glass.
Claywell to Jones. Jones with the overhead pass to Claywell. Back to Jones. Jones with a little crossover near the charity stripe. Back to Claywell from behind the arc, and it is in from downtown.
And Claywell, she can shoot the three ball pretty well, 30% on the year. She's also the all-time leading scorer at her high school in Union City, Indiana. So she's accustomed to hitting those threes.
Foul is drawn. It looks like it's going to be on Mariah Claywell with a little push foul on Maya Scheidt. Krebs will inbound the ball for the Greyhounds near the scorer's table. Williams-Harris on the Indianapolis logo. Little crossover move. Finds Krebs on the left wing, and her shot is good from downtown.
And whenever you talk about Caitlin Krebs, you have to mention her three-point shot. That's her game. That's what she's in the game for, and we saw it right there.
Jones to Williams. Finds Claywell on the low post. Claywell's shot no good. Rebounded by Scheidt. Another way to Williams-Harris. Back to Krebs. Krebs with the nice J. No good. Rebounded by Krebs. Krebs trying to put it in. That will probably send her to the charity stripe here.
Go ahead and do it all yourself, Caitlin Krebs. I mean, we saw a great move, a great pump fake. She freed herself up, stop and pop. She missed. She got her own rebounds. Goes up, puts the layup up, gets the foul call.
And sometimes you have to do that. You have to do it all yourself if you want to get points on the board.
Krebs will check out of the game. In for her is Liv Becker. Scheidt with the inbound pass to Liv Becker. The left arc. Back to Scheidt. The left wing. Scheidt with the overhead pass. The other side to Williams-Harris. Williams-Harris with the crossover in the lane. No good. Rebounded by With. With putback. With the putback, but she is fouled.
And you can just tell how speedy Williams-Harris is. And that crossover there, she did it in like half a second. It was just super quick. The defender had no chance to react to it.
Lauren With to the free throw line for the Greyhounds. They've only been there about 6 times here tonight.
Yeah, like we said earlier, they've been letting them play for the most part.
With sinks in her first free throw. All smiles here from the sophomore, the junior. He will check out of the game. In for her is Flaca Ortiz.
And it's good to see Ortiz in the game because we didn't see her a lot in the first half, and before the game she was getting her shoulder checked out, so we hope all is well there.
Jones' shot is in.
Good fast break, good patience there from Maya Shelton, and they didn't force anything there. They found the open lady in Addie Jones. She puts it up and in.
Mullins on the top of the Indianapolis logo. Goes to her left. Finds Ortiz in the top of the key, finds Jakaitis on the low end. She tried to go in for the layup, but she was fouled.
And so far in the second half, UINDY's doing a better job of getting the ball in the paint and attacking the defenders and drawing those fouls, forcing the refs to call the foul.
Let's talk about Jakaitis for a second. She's making her sixth start this season. So far, 5 points. Now 6 points so far. She had 2 monster blocks, 2 assists as well. Not getting rebounds though, however, but still, her presence has been very helpful for the Greyhounds here.
She's definitely been the defensive anchor all game, and with that free throw, I mean, she's tied for the leading scorer, so she's doing it on both sides.
Jakaitis, not a player who usually scores the ball a lot. As Kaden, you mentioned, she's more of a defensive player, but now the roles are being reversed. Ball is stripped by Williams-Harris. Williams-Harris playing a little unselfish basketball as her pass to Mullins was deflected, and it'll be Pilot's ball. UINDY really utilizing that half-court press. It's the pass intended for Kinker by the bench. It's just out of bounds, a little too strong right there.
And that pressure is what really opened up the game for them in the first half. I mean, when they started bringing that pressure, when they started pushing the pace, they were down by 5. They got back into it. Haven't looked back since.
The junior guard, Nyla Assad, for the Pilots will check back into the game. Looks like there will be another foul down. Nyla Assad will be charged with her second foul. Now we'll send Mullins to the free throw line. Scheidt will check into the game, in for Williams-Harris.
And UINDY being in the bonus is a scary sight. They're a great free throw shooting team. And the other night against Davenport up in Michigan, they shot 29. They made 27 of their free throws, accounting for more than half of their points, which is crazy. So, I mean, UINDY getting into the bonus this early is just a really big plus for them.
Yeah, it's a huge asset to have a good shooting team from the stripe. Being able to hit those free throws, it's free points.
As you guys mentioned, UINDY still being fired from behind the charity stripe, have only missed 1 free throw in today's game. 10 out of 11 from the charity stripe. Assad to Claywell, top of the key. Claywell drives in, looking for her options. Doesn't really have much help right there. It's Kinker, back to Assad on the left arc. From downtown, no good. Rebounded by Ortiz. Mullins will bring it up court. Coach Mitchell telling the girls to kind of slow down things a little bit. Mullins driving through traffic. Right side, her layup is no good, and it will be Pilot's ball. Liv Becker will be charged with the foul, and on that moment, we will step aside as there will be a media timeout. You're watching Greyhound basketball here on UINDY TV and the GLBC Sports Network.
We got Tennessee, Georgia.
Georgia, easily, man.
Come on, Tennessee's 8.5-point dogs. Easiest spread of all time.
How?
Because they're good, and Georgia's played nobody.
At least Georgia has a defense.
Oh, come on. You're an IU fan. Your opinion doesn't matter.
My opinion doesn't matter. The only thing you know as a Purdue fan is how to lose to a 15 seed in the March Madness tournament.
We're bowl eligible, my guy. Are you? Make sure to tune in to Last Call Monday nights. We'll talk about Division I football, give you plenty of UINDY sports, some interviews in there as well, and then plenty of pro sports, whether it be NFL, MLB, the whole shebang.
Yeah, and there's at least one guy that knows what he's talking about.
Back here at Nickerson Hall, 4:49 left of the third quarter. UINDY leads by 5 points. And UINDY's kind of making a bit of a run here, trying to give the Pilots their money's worth right here, guys. What has What have you guys been noticing so far in this third quarter?
I mean, it all started there in the first quarter. They were really sloppy with the ball. But, I mean, since the break, they've been really efficient with the ball. They're moving it well. They're finding good shots. I mean, just a matter of hitting them at this point.
Yeah, I would say so. They've done a much better job, like you said, moving the ball, getting the ball to the players they want to get it behind the arc or inside the paint. Obviously, the loss of Sadie Hill, it has had a huge factor on the outcome of this game. But a 15-point lead really does show, I think, how this game's gone so far.
UINDY, in this third quarter alone, has 11 points compared to the Pilots' 7 points. However, Bethel University is 50% from the field goal range, while UINDY is 28 from the field goal range. A little bit of a weird kind of shake-up right there. The referees are kind of reviewing the last play, I believe, as we can kind of see it from the scorers table right here. As both teams will get back into business and resume the third quarter action.
And Bethel has been moving the ball well in their own right. I mean, they're fine around the arc. And, I mean, they've attacked the Greyhounds from a couple different areas. I mean, the three-point, the mid-range has been there for them all game. I mean, they're moving great off the ball as well.
And they've played fairly well for NAIA school against Division II school, and they're 4-9 in NAIA with 8 straight losses coming in NAIA play. And I mean, they're definitely playing better than they have against those NAIA schools. So all credit to them.
You are definitely right, Jace. This team hasn't collected a win since November 8th, so they've been coming out pretty hungry today, trying to get the win before their next game will be in next year on January 4th against Spring Arbor. Mullins dribbles the ball. She's on the center court line. Now will be Pilot's ball. I believe there was a foul drawn. Flaca Ortiz will be charged with her third foul. And that means she will sit back on the bench. And the freshman forward, Jada Patton, will check back in to the game for the Greyhounds.
Tough call. She was just kind of trying to create space for herself, but referee saw a little too much.
UINDY still really utilizing this half-court press. Sod to Shelton. Shelton's jumper, no good. Tipped by Williams. She was trying to save it, but it was no good, and it will be Shite with the ball.
And that was the right look for Shelton. That's her kind of shot that she usually makes.
Chikaitis from the downtown. Just a little too strong off there. UINDY will now inbound the ball. Chikaitis kind of shooting more from downtown as Mullins tries to take a step at it. No good. Rebounded by Liv Becker. Her putback is no good.
Blocked there by Abby Williams, who has been a great defensive presence for the Pilots this entire game. Marked that down as her second block on the night.
Assad finds an open Kinker who should have went for it, but she decided not to. Back to Assad. Assad kind of slowing things down. The bounce pass to Williams. Williams saved her ball, airballed, but Shelton was there to save the day with a little offensive putback.
You call that an air ball, Giselle? That looks like a lob pass to me, but no, just a great fortunate play there for the Pilots. Puts up two.
I bet you they'll give her the assist though there, give her the benefit of the doubt.
Patton tries to go down to town, no good. Chikaitis there to save the day. Chikaitis, what a game from her today, guys.
Yeah, she's really having a great game. She leads the team in scoring now with 9, and on that play was really a great pass from Patton right off her own missed shot. Tipped the ball in midair to Chikaitis for the easy layup.
And Chikaitis is really making use of these men that she's getting because of Sadie Hill being out.
Claywell's jumper, no good.
And obviously, as we said, stepping into the shoes of Sadie Hill is, I mean, there's no way you can fill that gap, right? I mean, but she's doing everything she can, and it's really fun to watch.
It definitely is very fun to watch, as now in these critical moments when your star player is out, you gotta, it's the next woman mentality up. Got some substitutions here for the Pilots, and pretty soon here for UIndy as Jada Lake will check back into the game. In for Liv Becker, and Lauren With will take Jakaitis' spot, as Mullins will be back at the free throw line once again.
And free throws are this UIndy team's bread and butter. I mean, this will be their 13th and 14th tonight. That makes them 12 for 13 on the night as of this moment, which is crazy. I mean, the efficiency from the line, I mean, that just separates you from other teams when the going gets tough. When it's a close game, those free throw points, I mean, they make all the difference.
And you can tell that they definitely worked a lot on those in the offseason. Get those down, it's always a big asset to have in any game.
You are correct, as the free throw game has just immensely improved. As Kaden said, it's just critical in these moments. 1:44 left to play in this third quarter. Foster kind of doing a spin move. It was blocked by Lake. Mullins tried to recover the ball. Her pass for Patton was deflected by Assad. Assad will go the other way. The little layup and the and one. Bethel's bench is on their feet.
That's a nice shot there, falling away. It's a tough shot to make when you're getting fouled and falling away like that.
I mean, and there was no doubt that she did get fouled on that play, right? She attempted the Euro step. She got cut off mid-shot, falls back, fading away, almost parallel with the ground, gets at the fall. I mean, hey, what can you do?
This will be Bethel's first time at the free throw line in this third quarter. Assad's free throw just a little too strong off the front iron. Scheidt with the other way. Finds an open Lake on the left block, but a foul was called.
And Scheidt showing some speed right there. Some speed to get past the defender and the little dish over there to Jada Lake, and Lake to the line now.
Lake will now go to the free throw line.
Jada Lake's had a solid game up to this point. I mean, with a couple players out in Alana Williams and Sadie Hill, the entire team has really stepped up. I mean, when you look at the scoring, I mean, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Greyhounds that have put points on the board. So, I mean, you can't ask for more in terms of togetherness in a team.
And they only have 11 active players. And yet again, 2 more free throws made.
It's all the difference. Everybody eats on this Greyhounds team.
It's just a collective group effort from these young ladies over here. Foster to Kinker. Kinker's pass to Assad. It's kind of deflected by With, but it doesn't matter, as it'll still be the Pilots' ball, as Morris will inbound it.
And they've been jumping the passing lanes all night. Alani Williams-Harris, namely, being a big factor in that with 4 steals on the game.
Morris to Kinker from downtown.
And Kinker is one of their better shooters at 37% from behind the arc. And if you leave her open, she'll often knock those down.
33 left to play in this third quarter. Mullins looking at head coach Mark Mitchell, kind of try to figure out what the next play is. The ball was stolen by Assad. Assad will find Shelton on the left arc from downtown. No good. Rebounded by Patton. It's a little dogfight. Oh my gosh.
I mean, you can't say the aggression's not there, right? I mean, bodies have been flying all over the floor all night. I mean, scrappy basketball.
Scrappy indeed from both these teams. Both teams are just really looking to win after they're coming in today's game, coming off against some losses. So a win to either team will be very, very important to them. Kinker finds Shelton. Shelton with the jumper. It's a little too off. Shelton from the logo. And that will draw a close to the third quarter.
And a pretty fun third quarter it was. Action-packed all the way through. Tough defense from both teams. Some great shots made from both teams as well.
And now we'll step down on the sidelines with Kendall Pearson.
Well, it was now the end of the third quarter, and we got one left. The Hounds are still in the lead by 14 points, and it has been some pretty sloppy basketball tonight. We got girls sprawled all over the floor, and we have 33 turnovers in total. Let's see if the Hounds can clean it up a bit and walk away with a win tonight. Stay tuned here on GLVC Sports Network. We'll be right back after the break.
Hey, it's Giselle here on 88.7 WICR.
88.7 The Diamond, the only jazz and classical station in Indianapolis, completely led by the students of the University of Indianapolis. Listen to us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn app, FM radio, HD radios, or even on our website at wicronline.org, a different kind of public radio.
Fourth quarter action gets underway here back in Nickerson Hall. UINDY with the 14-point lead. With from downtown. A little too strong right there. Rebounded by Aside. Williams left-handed layup and the and one.
Great post presence from Abby Williams. I mean, she faces up the bigger width. Fakes right, goes left, goes with the contact, throws it up right-handed. Tough shot.
She has only 5 points tonight, but she's had a bigger presence than that in the game. Also 5 rebounds, 2 blocks to her name as well. She's been all over the court tonight.
The 6'1" sophomore sinks it in. Williams-Harris back to Jada Patton. Patton finds an open Lauren With on the left post. Lauren With was able to knock that one in.
How about that pass from Patton? That was a fastball. You could
hear the hot pass.
You could hear the heat off that up here.
And that'll draw us to another timeout. We'll step aside. You're watching Greyhound basketball here on UINDY TV and the GLVC Sports Network.
Award-winning news coverage. Brought to you by ethical journalists that care about you. We have you covered on crime, latest on sports, and the best in entertainment. This is UINDY TV News.
Back here in Lincoln Hall. UINDY 54, Bethel 41, and we just saw an amazing pass from Jada Patton. Finds an open Lauren With on the low end of the paint. And guys, that was quite a hot pass. As you guys mentioned, it's smoking hot pass. Inbounded from Williams-Harris to Patton. Patton makes the layup right there for the Greyhounds.
And they're really starting to get a lot of solid shots compared to the first half. And even that third quarter, I mean, they're really moving the ball well.
Assad is double teamed by Lake and Patton. Good sportsmanship from With and Patton.
And even though Patton doesn't see a whole lot of time out on the floor for this Greyhound team, I love the energy that she brings on both sides of the floor, right? I mean, we know that she can score in bunches. We know she attacks the basket with ferocity, right? But I mean, on defense, she has active hands, active feet. She's really a presence on both sides.
Assad on top of the key. Drives in near the charity stripe. Finds Morris. Shelton on the right wing. Shelton kind of looking for options. Finds Williams. And will be a foul called. Looks like it'll be on Lauren With.
They caught her just reaching around there. Maybe she caught some arm. We didn't have the best angle up here, but With didn't seem to agree with the call, that is.
Jakaitis will check back in for With.
And that's 4 personal fouls for With on the day.
She'll probably sit at the bench for quite some time.
But when you consider her sub, I mean, Caroline Jakaitis, she's had one heck of a game herself, so you're not losing much.
Shot clock violation from the Pilots as they took a little too much time trying to set up a play, a little too late.
And you gotta say, one of the main reasons that there's a 15-point gap in this game is the defense of the Greyhounds. They have been active all game long since the first quarter on the defensive end, forcing those turnovers. And right there, they forced a shot clock violation. There you go.
You know when you're forcing shot clock violations, I mean, that's a great defensive possession. They move the ball around for 30 seconds. They can't find an open shot. I mean, it doesn't get better than that.
Williams-Harris talking to head coach Mark Mitchell, kind of figuring out what the next play is. Williams-Harris to Jada Patton on top of the key, who drives in, finds Caslin Krebs from the triple. That's kind of an air ball right there, as it'll be rebounded by the Pilots. They'll take possession of the ball. And Jones kind of dribbling, but she just fell really hard. Wasn't able to see it from this angle right here. That'll be a foul on Caslin Krebs, which will be her first and the team's third. So Jones will inbound it. Finds Claywell. Claywell with the turnaround shot.
And it's no doubt the Pilots are facing an uphill battle getting back into this game, but it's shots like that, good looks, that can do it for them.
And Claywell has 13 points in the night now for Bethel. She's been by far their best player in score.
She's been their go-to on offense, definitely.
And usually she hasn't been. She's only a freshman, too. Usually their go-to scorer is Maya Shelton, but she hasn't really been able to get going in this game.
You get the sense that the Greyhounds really keyed in on Shelton, right? But it's been Claywell who has stepped up, and you wouldn't say her absence, but like her quiet nature throughout this game.
Shelton disagreeing with that call, and she was called for the foul, but she will step back to the bench. She will check out of the game. And for her is the senior guard, Callie McElroy. 8 seconds left on the shot clock. Williams-Harris. It's good. A long 2-point shot.
And that's only her second field goal of the game. And it's really been her work on the defensive sides, her work creating shot for her teammates that have really made her imprint on the game.
And yet again there, Claywell driving into the lane, getting the easy layup. 15 points for her now.
The 5'9" freshman already making an impact for the Pilots. Patton, layup no good. It was recovered by Lake, so Jada was able to help Jada out. It's a nice little help from the Jadas.
There has to be a connection there, right?
Yes, a little bit. It's just so fun to say. Shot no good from the Pilots, rebounded by Krebs. Williams-Harris with the long 2-jumper.
And that's her game right there. A little step back jumper, getting some saves from the defender with the crossover and the step back. And that's what she has been doing all year long.
And looking at the box score for the Greyhounds, no one has scored in double figures with 62 points. I mean, that's crazy. They're really spreading the love.
Williams-Harris is able to steal the ball, but her layup, no good. As Claywell will bring it up other way. Pasquale's 3 from downtown is in. And Bethel still putting the gas on the court still.
And Pasquale is their best three-point shooter on the team, 38% this year from behind the arc.
Williams-Harris once again, go long 3. Oh my goodness.
And Alani Williams-Harris, she has woken up now. That's 3 straight step-back jumpers she's had now in this game.
She really is like a microwave. Once she starts going, there is no shutting her off, and it only takes 1 or 2 to get her going.
She overheard us saying she hasn't been scoring much a lot, but she's telling Kaden, Giselle, and Jace, I'm gonna prove you guys wrong. Caitlin Krebs will be charged with her 2nd foul. And she will now see the bench. Liv Becker checks in, and so does Maya Shite in for Jada Lake. There will be a timeout drawn here. That will bring us to. We'll step aside right here. You're watching Greyhound basketball here on UINDY TV and the GLPC Sports Network.
Hey, it's Giselle here on 88.7 WICR.
88.7 The Diamond, the only jazz and classical station in Indianapolis, completely led by the students of the University of Indianapolis. Listen to us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn app, FM radio, HD radios, or even on our website at wicronline.org, a different kind of public radio.
.59 left of the 4th quarter. UIND leads 64. Bethel only 48. And as we were, during the timeout, we were looking at the stats, and we saw a really interesting one from Caroline Jakaitis. She has 9 points so far, and that marks her career high.
I mean, it's been a game for her. I mean, in the absence of Sadie Hill, we knew that someone's got to fill that presence down low, and she has embraced that role on both sides. Blocks, steals, rebounds. She's putting up points. I mean, what more can you ask for?
Didn't really see too much action last year. She made a couple appearances here and there, but now Mark Mitchell having a lot more faith in the 6'3" junior. Rebounded by Williams. The putback is in.
And that's just a head shaker for the Greyhounds. I mean, you force a terrible shot. I mean, she literally threw that overhead.
I mean, you can call it a pass if you want to when right off the top of the backboard.
An off the backboard lob, some might call it. Maybe an alley-oop attempt?
Maybe. But regardless, she makes it in. Williams-Harris with a little nice crossover finds Patton. Patton's floater no good.
But you can tell that Williams-Harris is feeling it right now. She keeps going to the back to that crossover move, and it keeps getting the defenders to bite.
It's quick. It's so quick. That's the thing. I mean, by the time that you react to her going middle, she's already by you to the left.
Her speed is just so remarkable. Like, she goes so fast, it takes me a second, like, oh yeah, she's on the other side. But she's definitely got these Greyhound fans a little bit pumped up with her crossovers.
And she is having a good game for herself. 8 points, 5 rebounds, and 6 assists.
And 6 of those points that came in this fourth. So, I mean, when it matters, right?
The senior guard, Callie McElroy, drains her first free throw. Misses her second, rebounded by Jakaitis. Jakaitis to Shite. Shite on top of the Indianapolis logo. Williams-Harris. Uh-oh, I feel like we're going to see another crossover move, guys. Goes coast to coast to the basket. No good. Rebounded by Jakaitis. And oh my goodness, Jakaitis now being the first Greyhound in double digits with 11 points tonight.
And someone was bound to get double digits as close as everyone is. We got scores in 6, 7, 8, 9 points all across the board for the Greyhounds.
8 players have scored over 5 as well, so it's not like they're just getting one bucket. I mean, everybody's getting their fair amount of shots.
Williams-Harris finds Shite. Shite back to Williams-Harris. Mark Mitchell kind of upset about that right there. More upset with Shite than anything.
And I love that about Mark Mitchell, right? I mean, they're up by 13, which is a pretty considerable margin in a 3-minute game, and he's still so intense.
Shite will inbound the ball for the Greyhounds.
But that just shows you Mark Mitchell's passion for the game. He truly loves this game. He wants to see this Greyhounds team succeed.
Shite will inbound the ball again for the Greyhounds. Finds Williams-Harris.
And there's no doubt this Greyhounds team has had their ups and downs, but if nothing else, they've been together throughout this entire season, embracing a whole new coaching staff. You had 6 newcomers in the offseason, and I'd say they put it together pretty well.
I think so too. Their chemistry really, I know a lot of people kind of had a little bit worries as last year it was they had a lot of seniors on that team, so it was kind of a veteran team, and they were a little bit worried the Greyhounds weren't able to keep this same energy, but they're proving the haters wrong. As you guys mentioned, this energy just seems to mesh well with this team. Williams-Harris dishes to Patton. Patton thought about shooting it, but instead she dishes it back to Shite from behind the arc. No good. Rebounded by Williams. McElroy dishes it out to Pasquale. Back to Williams. She will knock it down. And Kite is kind of limping a little bit back. She was kind of holding her hip a little bit. That'll bring us to a media timeout. We'll take time and step aside. You're watching Greyhound basketball here on UINDY TV and the GLBC Sports Network.
Award-winning news coverage. Brought to you by ethical journalists that care about you. We have you covered on crime, latest on sports, and the best in entertainment. This is UINDY TV News.
.228 left in the fourth quarter. UIND leads by 11. Shite inbounds the ball with the overhead pass to open Mullins for the layup. No good. Patton decides to rebound it. Oh, a little feisty right there from Patton. Looks like she was trying to throw it at Caroline Morris.
She's just in the game, right? I mean, they get tangled up, and
Exactly.
that's why they really try to call the jump balls early so they can avoid situations like that where tempers flare. But
now the referees talking it out. I don't know exactly what they were talking. Maybe that last possession.
I think they're going to discuss whether to give her a technical foul for that.
And Tech could be a pretty solid swing. I mean, give her a free point and the ball back.
On this moment, we'll step aside right here. You're watching Greyhound Basketball on UINDY TV and the GLVC Sports Network.
Award-winning news coverage. Brought to you by ethical journalists that care about you. We have you covered on crime, latest on sports, and the best in entertainment. This is UINDY TV News.
That was it.
Hey, it's Giselle here on 88.7 WICR.
88.7 The Diamond, the only jazz and classical station in Indianapolis, completely led by the students of the University of Indianapolis. Listen to us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn app, FM radio, HD radios, or even on our website at wicronline.org, a different kind of public radio. Award-winning news coverage.
brought to you by ethical journalists that care about you. We have you covered on crime, latest on sports, and the best in entertainment. This is UINDY TV News.
Hey, it's Giselle here on 88.7 WICR.
88.7 The Diamond, the only jazz and classical station in Indianapolis, completely led by the students of the University of Indianapolis. Listen to us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn app, FM radio, HD radios, or even on our website at wicronline.org, a different kind of public radio.
Mic in her headset.
Jake, who you got? Tennessee, Georgia.
Georgia, easily, man.
Come on, Tennessee's 8.5-point dogs. Easiest spread of all time.
How?
Because they're good, and Georgia's played nobody.
At least Georgia has a defense.
Oh, come on. You're an IU fan. Your opinion doesn't matter.
My opinion doesn't matter. The only thing you know as a Purdue fan is how to lose to a 15 seed in the March Madness tournament.
We're bowl eligible, my guy. Are you? Make sure to tune in to Last Call Monday nights. We'll talk about Division I football, give you plenty of UINDY sports, some interviews in there as well, and then plenty of pro sports, whether it be NFL, MLB, the whole shebang.
Yeah, and there's at least one guy that knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Two shot. There you go.
All right. Welcome back here in Nickerson Hall. Over the last play, look, the referees were kind of realizing if Jada Patton made a foul. It looked like it was a technical.
Maybe it's two shots. So was it a flagrant then? Or is it tech two shots?
I'm not.
Usually a technical's one shot.
Right.
Must have been a flagrant one there.
Maybe she said something. I don't know. That's all that I would have to guess.
Well, all I do know is Jada Patton is on the bench. Wasn't a scorer's table official announcement on the play. But both the free throws from Pasquale are synced.
But I mean, just like that, that makes it a single-digit game, and they get the ball back with 2.5 minutes.
They get a three here. It's only a 6-point game. This game could get interesting real quick if Bethel gets the right play here.
McElroy kind of slowing things down for the Pilot, trying to get a good play going. Hands it off to Pasquale. Back to Claywell. To McElroy on the left arc. Pasquale shoots. No good, as a little bit strong. But it's recovered by Kinker. But Jakaitis like, nope, not today.
And you mentioned the three-pointer making it a two-possession game. That looks like exactly what they were going for. They had a couple, looked like a couple sets set up for three-pointers, but they found one, just didn't go.
On that moment, a timeout is drawn, and we'll step aside. You're watching Greyhound basketball here on UINDY TV and the GLTC Sports Network.
Award-winning news coverage.
It's been a while since I've been on UINDY Radio. Welcome back here in Nickerson Hall. 1:46 left to play in this fourth quarter. Oh, all of a sudden it's a single-point lead from the Greyhounds. They lead by 9.
And they're in no rush here. No need to be up by 9 minutes and a half left to go. Get the best shot here.
Williams-Harris, the ball was intended for Jakaitis, but it was stripped out of bounds. Jakaitis kind of risked herself right there with the diving save. She's all smiles, though. What a game from her.
Oh, it looks like they called a foul.
Oh, okay. Guess we were wrong. All that was worth it. Kitis will go to the free throw line for her second time tonight.
And they just still aren't missing from the stripe today. Only one miss on the day.
Consistent.
That's been the reason they're going to win this game today, probably. All those free throws they've made, yet again, not even hitting the rim in these shots.
Kitis, UND's leading scorer with 13 points.
I mean, 17 for 18 from the free throw line. I mean, that's more than the difference of the game. I mean, that's
foul is drawn by the scores table. Castling Krebs with her third foul. Looking a little upset about it.
And fouls are the best case scenario for Bethel here because it's the best way to get points and it takes absolutely no time off the clock. So on the UINDY side of things, it has to be something that they key in on, that they lock in on. Fouls can't be a regular occurrence.
Williams makes the first. Misses her second. Rebounded by Scheidt. Scheidt with the bounce pass to Williams-Harris with a little cross move. Finds Castling Krebs. Back to Williams-Harris. Back to Scheidt on the Indianapolis logo. Back to Scheidt again. Scheidt driving in the lane for traffic. And her layup is in. All of a sudden, UINDY have 70 in today's game. Shelton's jumper, she makes it, but it doesn't count. Abby Williams will be drawn with her fourth foul, and she will now sit down for the duration of the game. Addie Jones will check back in for Bethel. And it's going to be another timeout, this time from UINDY. So we're going to take time to step aside. You're watching Greyhound basketball here on UINDY TV and the GLPC Sports Network.
Hey, it's Giselle here on 88.7 WICR.
88.7 The Diamond, the only jazz and classical station in Indianapolis, completely led by the students of the University of Indianapolis. Listen to us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn app, FM radio, HD radios, or even on our website at wicronline.org, a different kind of public radio.
First year here, so they don't have to go out. Back here at Nickerson Hall, UINDY 70, Bethel 58. 41 seconds left to play. Greyhounds will inbound the ball. Scheidt finds Williams-Harris. Back to Scheidt. Scheidt with the overhead pass to Becker. Finds Scheidt again. Back to Williams-Harris. Back to Scheidt. Little back and forth action.
And they can foul, but at this point in the 12-point game with about 30 seconds left, it's pretty redundant.
It's just extra stats for UINDY, and this could get Maya Scheidt into double figures. She has 9 points in the night. Just needs one of these two to get into double figures. But you know she wants to get both of them, keep those free throw percentage up.
And it's looking like it's going to play out in what was a very, very well-deserved win for the Greyhounds.
Yeah, and all credit to Bethel. They're an NAIA school coming in with 8 straight losses. They gave all of their effort today against this UINDY team.
They sure put up a fight. UINDY looks like they're gonna now be 6-5 on the season. They will travel to Columbus, Ohio on Monday to take on Ohio Dominican before they have a couple of weeks worth of games break before they come back here in January for a home game.
And after 2 straight losses, maybe this can get them back on the right track, you think. And for Bethel, it's just back to the drawing boards. This makes 9 straight. I mean, it's easy to fall into a lull, you know, when you start seeing these consecutive losses, but I hope they get it together.
And that will be all she wrote as the Greyhounds finally back in the win column. Moving on to 6-5 on the season. And guys, what a really good fight from both teams, as you mentioned. Bethel wasn't too scared at all, and UINDY just really wanted to get back in the win column here. And we're now just waiting for an interview with head coach Mark Mitchell.
I'm Kendall. How are you doing?
Now we'll head to the sideline with Kendall Pearson. She has head coach Mark Mitchell.
I'm down on the sidelines with head coach Mark Mitchell. Congratulations on the win, first off. And second of all, how were the girls able to execute this win without Sadie Hill?
Oh, we're missing Marissa Knobloch, Alana Wells, and Sadie. So, you know, it was next woman up, and we had to get it together as a team.
And what do you think the biggest positives of this game were?
Well, we came together when we needed to. You know, we knew we were missing about, 35 to 40 points, 16 rebounds or so. So we knew we were missing that. So everyone stepped up, and we did it together.
Thank you. And what's the biggest thing you feel that the girls need to clean up before your game against Ohio Dominican on Monday?
Same story. We got to stop turning the ball over. We got to rebound better. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Congratulations, and good luck on the rest of your season. Thanks for tuning in here on GLVC Sports Network. I'm Kendall Pearson.
All right, thank you, Kendall, and such an amazing job from her, and what a game from the Greyhounds here tonight, guys.
I mean, Coach said it best, right? It was a complete team effort. With 72 points scored, they had 2 girls in double digits, and they spread the love the entire night. 9 Greyhounds got on the board, and 8 of those 9 scored over 5.
Yeah, definitely a total team effort, and all credit to Bethel and Mariah Claywell, who had 15 points on the night. But Bethel just fell short, and it was a closer game than probably what most expected to be.
Well, Bethel will fall in 4-10 on the season, while UINDY moves to 6-5. They will travel on Monday to Ohio Dominican to face off Ohio Dominican. Special huge thank you to our amazing crew tonight for all the amazing work that they do. For Jake Kiefer, Rick Dunkel, Logan Wong, Nathaniel Fitch, Xavier Deemer, and my partners in crime, Katie Colfer and Jace Hodge, I'm Giselle Valentine saying good night, and we will see you next time here on UINDY TV and the GLPC Sports Network.